Welcome back. Recently, we had the opportunity to attend the Canadian Muslim Mental Health Conference organized by the Muslim Medical Association of Canada and the Department of Psychiatry at the University of Toronto. We had the pleasure of talking to event organizers and attendees about their vision and views of the conference and interviewed healthcare professionals working in the field of mental health within the context of Islam and spirituality. Let's take a look now and see what they all had to say.
The Canadian Mental Health Conference is a conference that includes Muslim speakers, thinkers, and practitioners to share their knowledge about working in the field of mental health. It has really a few aims. So we aim for one, to be able to kind of have that wealth of knowledge shared with the community and to have a platform where we can have a unified voice with, the different intersecting kind of identities that we have as Muslims.
Research study on seeing the impact of doing mental health services in an Islamic context, as opposed to without an Islamic context, and seeing if that's beneficial to our community. So I'll start with...
Mental health is not really discussed within the community, and stigma has been shown to affect people more than actually being challenged with or living with mental health illnesses. And so being able to directly address that within the community and kind of share that knowledge and those challenges within the community, engage them in talking about stigma specifically is helpful for one reason. Another reason we need it specifically for Muslims is because we are a minority group, and minority group experiences differ. Within our own communities, I think we have many intersecting identities as well, and so this is a platform where we need to address these issues from within our communities. And lastly, because Islam is very rich in its tradition to offer, there hasn't really been that merging between the modern approaches to dealing with mental health and Islam, because there's always that that kind of chasm in between, and we separate them, and they're not separate. They're very much integrated. They're intertwined, and so to separate them sounds would not be helpful for healing. And so to be able to integrate it and have a safe space that's Muslim and that focuses on mental health, I think is very important for the community. It's very much needed.
We're just going to notice our attention going up and bringing ourselves back. And just asking yourself what your experience is.
Working as a pharmacist, I met a lot of Muslims who also take these medications. And so just speaking to them, I can see that it is a big gap, and just knowing that this exists and that other people are going through it, I think I'll try to open discourse in the topic.
And consequent ripple effects on family and community. So they recommend against screening for PTSD, but suggest that people be alert for associated signs and symptoms. So if somebody's coming into the office every week with unexplained somatic symptoms, headaches, stomach aches, backaches, sleep disorders, or mental health disorders such as depression or panic, then you might want to then screen. But in somebody
in sharing and kind of having this very unified platform where this knowledge is shared in a safe space, that it would contribute to learning, to challenging stigma, to growth, and really ultimately healing as a community, because we have to do it collectively. This is not something that's going to be individualized or it's going to depend on one individual dealing with it. I think as a community coming together to be able to address challenges and discuss mental health well-being within the community would be very, very conducive to healing as a whole, collectively.
All in all, it's very positive to get individuals together under one roof, and also it has a spiritual component, which I think a lot of people, and I've heard this, for example, people who are severely depressed and who want to commit suicide don't do so because of their religious understanding. So to them, religion is a big coping mechanism, and just knowing that there are certain groups who also have understanding of psychology, psychiatry present, I think it will help in the long run.
I like that perspective that you need to take treatment seriously, but also take religiosity seriously in treating mental health issues amongst religious people.
What we hope the attendees would take from this is empowerment, that we have a richness and we have a wealth of knowledge and leaders in the field of mental health, just without a unified platform that brings them all together. We are definitely hoping to annualize that mental health and hopefully have it so that we can include different groups within Canada that can come, because the mental health conference in the States was, again, that unified platform. So people from all over the States attended as speakers and attendees. And so to have that in Canada, I think would be incredible.